Australian Prime Minister since 1967 has had the power, the Commonwealth constitutional power, to override the Queensland Act. They've been too gutless to use it because they're fighting of Joe Bajoki Peterson. Mal Fraser has the ability tomorrow to stop these demonstrations, diffuse everything that's going on here. He's been too gutless to use it. That's for the benefit of the media that's here. That's for the benefit of our brother from the Queensland Special Branch. And that's for the benefit of the people over there is why we're demonstrating today. Land rights now! Land rights now! Land rights now! Land rights now! Land rights now!
Special Branch. Don't do
that again or I'll lock you up.
Don't push him, okay? Get it cool. In Queensland, they've set up these reserves, Aboriginal reserves. Well, in actual fact, they're concentration camps. People are not allowed to leave without a permit, not allowed to go back in without a permit. They work for substandard wages. There's entry to their houses is just whenever the manager or the white or black police think that, you know, they just do it. It's very oppressive. The Act itself breaks a large number of the conventions under the United Nations Declaration for Human Rights. In fact, it breaks more than the Apartheid Act in South Africa. And what we are saying here is that because the world has shunned South Africa, that they should also shun Australia, because we have a more racist piece of legislation in this state And there's also racist legislation throughout the whole country. They're a thing of the past. We refuse to live under them. That's why we're here. We want them repealed. We want land rights. We want our independence. We want to be self-determined. And we don't want people running our affairs, giving us so-called protection.
Would anyone like to get their photo taken by the police officers? Just move down here. Would anyone like to get their photos taken by the police officers? Would they just move down here? People that boys around so you can see.
If anyone finds them, take them over to the legal kennel up there, please. Thank you.
There was a group formed in Musgrave Park which we called the National Black Unity Group, a fairly loosely formed committee
We'll make you a sandwich, okay?
that began from the time the tents went up here, I guess, and operated very effectively during the last 2 weeks. It was a group which didn't have time for internal fighting. It didn't have time to develop leadership. There was a few of us who came into a position of being spokespeople, but any decisions that were made about what action we were going to take about the functioning of things in the camp or on the streets, those decisions were made by all the people here. That we were very, very aware of the dangers of a leadership situation developing. And I think the whole group worked together really well to make sure that we didn't fall into the trap of having a leadership.
You fellas have to give me a go because I've battled so hard to get the money. Yeah, well, and yet that money is going to be stopped today because of what Sugar has made a statement, you see.
What?
Well, Sugar made a statement.
What's this?
Read that.
Well, there was a statement by Sugar which was threatened for our 2 more illegal march.
Could we have all the marshals up here now, please?
I mean, that's not what's a legal march for Sugar. The thing is, you know, I mean, you can take notice of paper and you can disregard that, things like that. But what do I do to talk to, you know, what do I talk with to make some sense? Would I go against my own NAC member, fight against my NAC member?
Well, this is not even right because we've never discussed anything about no march
Yeah, well,
at all.
yeah, sure. But one of the things that we've got to decide now, whether we
Could
want
we have all the marshals up here now, please?
One of the things we decide now, we want a festival or an illegal march. We've got choice, our choice. I mean, the thing is...
This is... well,
Go on now,
we know...
Tell me what you want.
No, we know this is for the black people. We've got to talk about this. You know, we didn't want any sort of press. We're just going to have a little...
What is it?
It's right, Steve. This was a Murray film thing.
This is a Murray's one.
See, a lot of people here know that we put it on the minister for $20,000 for a festival here. And they give us $10,000, or they said they were going to give us $10,000. Now, because of a statement that Sugar Ray made in the papers this morning to say there's going to be illegal marches, he's blackmailing us again. You know, so if that's the case, we already have decided that we will march and that all before, ever since we've been here. So we're being blackmailed again, and if he can't, let him keep his $10,000 then. We will decide what we're going to do here. We've been living here for the last week without any of his money, and we can still keep on doing it.
What the problem is here is there's too much media outside. They should come to the park. We've been saying, set up an Aboriginal land rights fucking embassy here, and no one's made an attempt. And that all the media is brought here to speak from it here. Not all the offshoots, just like you said. Sugar's made a thing that stopped the $10,000. And you got other people making things to the fucking media, except the people here.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that's come out of this is that the grassroots people, the people who have had no say earlier, the people who had to depend on their leaders to tell them what to do, have showed that we can do it on our own, that we've made it on our own, that this whole setup has been just that, poor grassroots people, blacks who are really struggling for land rights. And I think that's the most important thing that has happened here, and we're going to make that an ongoing thing.
This showed that our people, with a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of respect, we can get together and we can organise ourselves in whatever we want to do, how we want to do it.
We've proved that people are the strength and people will make the revolution. We don't have to rely on putting up figureheads, but the people will do it.
We can sit down and we can do it in a traditional way. That's one of, maybe, you know, we get heaps put on them because we call a lot of things, you know, and that even Victorian, the Kooris, they're trying to phase us out, and they reckon there's no Kooris there and they won't give us title to land because we're not full-blooded Aboriginals, as they say. But we got our tradition and our spiritual feelings for our land, and we here, the thing about it is we use one of them traditions and coming in a consensus of opinion. No one had sole control of it. No individual had the power that separated and parted people. Everybody put in.
So the only way we're going to embarrass the state government and the federal government is to have the police use violence on us. And the only way we're going to do that is by taking to the streets.
There's media.
No. We have to get together. The executive get together. There's too many migloos here. And sometimes I think there's a black trader in the camp.